Hello and very warm welcome to Six Digits Season 3. Thank you very much for joining in. Can you first of all confirm whether you can hear me loud and clear and you can see my screen as well and see me? If yes, please type yes in the questions dialog box. Thank you. All right, we're getting messages. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. That's enough. That's enough. So, first of all, welcome to this very important, very thought-provoking series of sessions, which we call Six Digits. There is a reason why we call it Six Digits, and I'll tell you a bit about what we have experienced in the past two sessions as well, and what is different in session number 3. So in season 3 rather. So with that we'll begin today's session. First of all, I want to know how many of you have attended our orientation session. So if you have attended, say yes. If you have not attended, say no. Okay. Sumbul has not attended. Umar Nadeem has not attended. Great. So majority have attended. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it some more. So majority of you have attended the orientation session. Those who have not, I will advise you to have a look at the handouts available today. So let me first of all begin by explaining what do you see on the screen, how are we going to communicate, how is the session going to be like, how important is your participation, your being able to talk back through this questions dialog box or by raising hands. How will you be able to do all that during these 18 weeks which is the duration of the program. So first of all, if you see your screen, you should be able to see a special menu that appears. In my case, it appears on the right side of the screen. In your case, it could be a floating menu as well, but it normally appears on the right side of the screen, which has an orange arrow pointing outwards or inwards. So this is the special GoToWebinar menu. GoToWebinar is the platform that we will be using for all moderated sessions. So you will be every time and every now and then you will be accessing this menu through the orange arrow pointer that you see. Now, first of all, just because we have a number of participants, there are about 60 here so far, and we are expecting more than 100 to join us today. So just because we want to have this discussion in a controlled environment, so the microphones are muted for now, but we do have control. If an individual wants to make a point through audio or verbally, they should raise hand and we'll go back and unmute those individuals or that particular individual and then continue. But most of the time, we will be resorting to the questions dialog box. Let me see if you can see the questions dialog box on your screen. I mean, yes, you have one of your own, but what you see on my shared screen is a shared question dialog box. Can you please confirm if you can see and read from this questions dialog box? See the comments that people have made. So if you can see yes, if you cannot see other people's comments, say no. All right, great. Yes, that's right. That's right. Those who are finding it difficult, so Muhammad Maruf, if you're finding it difficult to hear me, or you hear me intermittently, that just very clearly means that your internet connectivity is a bit sluggish. So you'll have to either relocate yourself or you'll have to get a better internet connectivity. Number two, you will get a good experience of using this platform if you're using the laptop. If for any reason you're using a mobile device, a cell phone, you will have limited functionality of the software, and therefore you will find it a little difficult to interact. You'll find it little difficult to access most of the features available. So try and find a laptop for yourself where you can sit down and you can then very clearly be able to hear me, watch the videos, watch the presentation, and interact with us. Okay, Murtaza Hussain is saying connect Wi-Fi device with the computer. Yes, Wi-Fi, but a wired network. So I leave that to you. I'm sure you are digitally enabled enough to get a good internet connectivity for yourself. I don't have to explain that any further. Going forward, let me explain to you. Like I said, what are we going to do? How long is this going to be? So for future members, we have identified 3 days in a week, 2 hours each, for which you will be interacting with us. So on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, you will be present from 6 o'clock in the evening to 8 o'clock, and this is for Pakistan. From 6 to 8 in the evening, all right, 6 to 8 in the evening, you will be sitting here talking to us. For this time around, we have people from Bangladesh, and we have people from Sri Lanka as well who have joined us, and all of them are your your program mates. So they're all future members of ACCA. So what we've done is we had around 1,300 participants who were interested in being a part of the program. The actual number was 1,800, but then we settled down to, we selected about 1,300 of those, and they were then divided into 2 separate groups. So we have about 680 future members and about a similar number, about 630 or 40 members who have become part of the program. So we have created 2 separate groups. The group for members is going to be, the meeting for group of members is going to be held on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And for future members, it's going to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Now, what we're going to do here is that out of the 3 days in the week, we are going to do a lot of, 2 of the days of the week are going to be a moderated session. So just like today's session, where I'm sitting here, I'm moderating the conversation, I am sharing my thoughts, the content of the program with you. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to have moderated sessions, but on Saturdays, you will be given some tasks, some assignments, some work to do, some teamwork, to teamwork for yourself. And that is the day when you will be on your own, and you will have to select a leader from amongst the participants, and that leader for that day will run that session for that day. Okay? And it is very important that many people take their turns. There are about 18 weeks, and every week we're going to have one more unmoderated session. So therefore, there are going to be at least 18 people who should try their, try to become a leader of the session and try to run it for other people. So that's very important. It's going to, improve your people management skills. It's going to improve your leadership skills and qualities. So therefore, do take a chance to become a leader of the unmoderated session. So once again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, moderated sessions, and Saturdays is going to be unmoderated session. If you look at the invitation email that was sent to you, that invitation email contains 2 invitations. You have used the invitation for moderated sessions today, which was through GoToWebinar, but the unmoderated session is going to be through Microsoft Teams. So there is a separate invitation for Microsoft Teams to join that unmoderated session. You have that link available. Please keep this email safe and therefore you should be able to use it during the 18 weeks, quite frequently. So please, my advice to you, it's otherwise going to become troublesome for you if you're um, if you have to look for that email every now and then. So therefore, keep that email safe, and therefore you should be in a good shape throughout the session. Now, number 3. And that thing is, I mean, we've talked about 2 platforms. We've talked about GoToWebinar, and we've talked about Microsoft Teams. The third platform that we are going to use is going to be a WhatsApp group. So we're going to create a WhatsApp group of future members for 6-digit season 3, and I'm going to share an invite with you through email, which you can use to join that group. So your day-to-day communication, your interaction with your group mates, your networking, which is very, very essential, that will all happen through the WhatsApp group. Okay, is that all clear? I hope yes. Thank you very much. All right, let's see what we've got on the question screen. So Nadeem Anjum is asking, we received an email regarding your membership application acceptance and the membership title awarded in 5 working days. So which group do I join? So right now you are a part of the future members group. There is not much difference. The content is going to be more or less the same, right? The level may be a little different, but the content is going to be the same. So I mean, shifting members from one group to the other is really going to be very difficult for us, because there are too many requests, and I've already started receiving requests from this group. There are too many requests, and we'll have to juggle around a lot, because there's a lot of work that has happened behind the scenes also. So the way these emails are sent, the way these groups have been created, the way the entire program has been structured. So a lot of work has already taken place. I would say stick with the group, and in fact become a leader of the group. So if you're a senior, future member, or you are a member now and you're part of the group, become a leader in the group. So I would suggest that. All right. So Mohammed Naushad is suggesting that I should provide the link of the WhatsApp group. Naushad, I just said that I am going to provide you with the link. But just because today is the first day, we just wanted to explain the scheme of things to you. We just wanted to explain that this session is going to be different. The first difference that you would have noticed is the presence of our friends from Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. And that's going to add, another exciting flavor. It's not a competition, but it's learning from each other. So learn about how those markets work, as opposed to how Pakistan works. Interact with your friends, and they are going to be your friends from Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. It's going to be very, very interesting community that ACCA is going to develop here, and you're going to enjoy that a lot. I really enjoyed the participation from members from Bangladesh and Sri Lanka yesterday. Yesterday we were having our first section of 6 digits season 3 for members, and the contribution from our friends from Sri Lanka and Bangladesh was phenomenal, and I'm sure it is going to be likewise in today's session as well. All right, so about timing, for Pakistan it's 6 to 8. For Bangladesh it is 7 to 9. I mean, the time in Bangladesh right now is an hour ahead, so it's 7 to 9. And for Sri Lanka is half an hour ahead of Pakistan, so it's going to be 6:30 till 8:30. So that's the timing of the session we're going to continue. There was a question posed that there are exams approaching, and will we take a break for the exams, etc. I would suggest that really releasing everyone. There are about 170 registrations for today's session. Letting everyone take a break, for about 2 weeks, I don't suggest so. I think we will continue. All these sessions are recorded. So if you look at your GoToWebinar menu, it does say this session is being recorded. So all these sessions are being recorded, about an hour after the end of this session, you will automatically get an email from us with the link to the recording. So you will be able to go back and watch what has been happening. Okay, and every now and then when you're free from your exams or you can afford to take out 2 hours, of course your priority is exams, so you can afford to take out 2 hours, please take out time and join us on the GoToWebinar session. By the way, how are we going to conclude all of this? So, in the end, there is going to be certificates awarded. There is no assessment for this program. However, a lot of information is available to us. All these comments that you are making, the questions that you are asking, they're all being recorded. We will have a record of attendance of each and every participant. So, when did you join in? How long were you in that session? If you leave early, will automatically be flagged that such and such person has left. So, we get a complete report of attendees from each session. Not that we will hold you by it, but the criteria of getting the certificate is going to be your attendance, and minimum 80% attendance would mean that you will get the certificate for the 6 digits season 3 in a very nice pack, a frame, and with a lot of other gifts for you. The biggest gift, however, that we're going to give you is the growth mindset, is the potential to earn more, is your preparedness for and enthusiasm for earning more. And that is the biggest thing that you get. It's not the certificate, it's not the 80% attendance, it's not the gifts. It is this ability, a lifelong learning, which is going to help you throughout your professional career, that is going to help you. I went to a learning provider a few days ago, and believe me, I was very surprised to find out individuals who did not know about the 6 digits program. I mean, 1,800 individuals signed up, and 1,800 individuals knew about the program. In fact, more knew about the program, but 1,800 wanted to take this action. The first thing I would want to tell you is a very sharp difference that I see between members and future members is that members are very, very glued to their communication mediums. So you send them an email and they immediately act. You send them a WhatsApp message and they would immediately be there to act accordingly. But when talking about students or future members, they normally do not see their emails that frequently. They're more glued on to social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. But emails is not their priority. So that is one difference, and I would suggest that you develop that habit of looking at all your communication mediums, be it even if it is a SMS text on your phone. Try and get a hang on to all those communication mediums that you have in place. That's going to be very helpful. However, like I said to you, 3 mediums: WhatsApp, GoToWebinar, and Microsoft Teams. These are the 3 channels that we're going to use here. All right, so let's very quickly look at some of the comments that I've received. I'm sure all of you are able to see these comments as well. This person, Mohsen Hassan Khan, is saying, I've joined a little bit late, so please repeat regarding leader for unmoderated session, please. Mohsen, please watch my recording. If you go back again and again, it will take a lot of time. But for one last time, I'm going to tell you, there are going to be 18 unmoderated sessions, which are going to be held on Saturdays. They're going to be run on Microsoft Teams. Please, for every session, you will have to select a leader from amongst your group. So you will be asking in the group, so for volunteers, people should volunteer. There should be a mechanism to select the leader for the day, and people at the same time should then be prepared to become the leader for that day as well. So it's all going to be managed by you. Plan in advance, think about it in advance, and only then you should be able to become the leader. So that's the bit about leaders for unmoderated session. Muhammad Maruf Sikdar is saying, I think from Bangladesh, we'll call you Muhammad Maruf. So thank you for arranging such kind of sessions. Thank you very much. We're just going to begin. We're just doing some housekeeping so far. Will these webinars be available in recording as well? Hasnan Mahmood, yes, I've just answered that. These recordings will be available and you will receive the recording links an hour after the session. Zahra Azam is saying, always wanted to sign up for 6 Digits program from when first it was introduced, but I couldn't because I'm a future member. But now, this season, Alhamdulillah, future member. Yes, thank you very much, Zahra. We're proud and glad to have you with us as well. Please be very active, interactive, make a lot of comments, share your thoughts with us. All right. How can we prepare ourselves for the sessions technical wise? Shamlin, just being actively, present through the session, that will help you a lot. There is no technical preparation unless you've been asked to do that, unless you've been asked to work on something. And by the end of the session, we will give you certain assignments, we'll give you certain tasks, and you'll have to perform those. And therefore, that is going to be, your preparation for the next session. And we'll probably, we'll start taking steps. So it's not going to happen all in a huge plunge. We're going to start taking steps. We're going to build it up from here. So today's session, at the end of today's session, you'll know what to do next. Okay, you'll know what to, what activity to do at home, what activity to work on, to make you realize that this is important and therefore you should be aware of it and therefore practice it. So practicing is going to happen afterwards. What happens if you go offline and come online? I don't have answers to all these questions, but of course, yes, you are shown as logged out and then you're shown as logged in again. So it clearly records each and everything. I missed the attendance method. All right. Okay, your system, the system, go to webinar, records your attendance and it records the time for which you were present here. Moving on, an exam in December and the webinar during the prep week is hard to, I've just explained what to do. Of course, your exams take priority. If you miss a few sessions, you can watch the recording of those sessions afterwards. But of course, you will be connected with your group mates otherwise. So every now and then you can watch what is happening in the group. But once your exams are over, please do come back and continue with the rest of the sessions. How do you ensure that attendance is marked? I've explained that. Looks very interesting session. Hopefully enhance skills. Yes, Naushad, definitely. I'm excited as well. How can the agenda for the day be shared in advance? Sarah, let it come. I'm just going to explain the contents to you, right? But let the things come. Okay, we'll talk about lecture plans, etc. We'll see how to share with you in advance. Can the sessions be considered under PER platform? Not exactly. PER, the learning is going to be applicable, but it's your learning mainly. It's your learning, the way you apply it at job, and therefore it will be easier for you to achieve your performance objectives and therefore complete your PER. Great initiative by ACCA. Thank you very much. Apart from providing professional training, found ACCA much supportive since my registration. Proud to be part of such an institution. Thank you so very much, Asad. Music to our ears. Thank you very much, and we are very happy to be of assistance to our stakeholders. Okay. Very quickly, good to see you almost after a year. Okay, Mohsin Siddiqui, thank you very much. How to mark attendance from phone. The system marks your attendance. You don't have to do anything. Rida Hashmi, how has the 6-digit helped candidates in the past? Very, very important question. Rida, thank you for bringing this up. All right, pilot project. There were 16 graduates. All of them have, crossed that 100,000 rupee, Pak rupee, we say 100,000 rupee mark of earning every month. Season 2, I would say majority have done that, has crossed that, that threshold as well. So yes, we are actively tracking the progress of the participants of the previous program. you will feel that change in yourself as well. Okay, and as we go forward, just a few things that that you have to do to yourself. Start thinking differently. You should be in that mind frame of growth. I have to grow. I have to progress. That, and actually that helps you in your demeanor, in the way you act at your organization, the way you work towards your ACCA qualification. It all depends upon that. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you for so many positive comments. I'm just going to roll up this questions window, and now we look at it from time to time. Let's move on with the presentation that we have. All right. This screen that you see, this slide, I don't know, it looks a little scary and somebody with lips stitched and cracked up face, but then focus on the brain, focus on what goes on in your mind, right? This is a bit about the way your brain is constructed. There's a right side of the brain and there's a left side of the brain. One part of your brain is considered or supposed to think logical, act very logically. The other is, act very creatively. A creative mindset. Emotions and all that. And by the way, all of us, we use very little of both sides of the brain. And there's nothing wrong in using one as opposed to the other. God has created different personalities. These personalities, I would say, originated as a result of which part of the brain do they use most. So if they're more logical, if they're less emotional, that means they're using one side of the brain. If they're more emotional, if they're more creative, musicians, artists, etc., they use the other side of the brain more. So that's how God has created a mix and match of, how much of the brain they use, and that formulates the personality that you carry. So first of all, interesting pictures, and those who have attended the orientation session, they would have done this exercise already, and that is to start thinking about that you love yourself. And as Sajid that day proposed, that every day when you get up in the morning, you should give yourself one tight hug and say to yourself out loud, I love myself. I love me. So say that to yourself. It'll look a little awkward, in the beginning, but believe you me, you do things to yourself so positively when you really think that you're loving yourself. You'll automatically prioritize things that impact you, right? So automatically you will develop that passion for yourself, for growing, for changing your attitude towards things. So that is what starts happening when you continuously remind yourself that you love yourself. Right? So every day in the morning when you wake up, it's about doing that act as well, yes, and at the same time thinking very deep about it, okay, and remembering it that you love yourself, okay. So that's what we begin with. When you love yourself, once again, you have to you should serve yourself good food. You should you should plan your future in a way that it's rewarding for you, right? And therefore you should do things in the long run and in the short term that should impact you very positively. Okay, now very quickly moving on, changing gears, most of us think that whatever we are doing as an employee in the organization, whatever we are doing as as a student, or as a professional who's working or being trained, we're being paid for whatever work has been assigned to us, and therefore that's our reward. remember one thing. You don't, I mean, yes, you are paid for, the job description that you have in front of you. You're paid for that work. If you work as per the expectations of what's laid out in your job description, you are already being paid for what you're doing. So really, in order to, and if you're doing worse than that, if you're not meeting your KPIs, if you're not fully performing as per your job description, then automatically you're underperforming. But really, when you want to, and underperforming, by the way, means that you should not expect yourself even to remain at the income level that you're currently at, and therefore you should seriously think about upping your game. But then when you're looking at growth, you really have to be, much higher than, what the expectation from you is, of what has been written to you or given to you as your job description. You have to perform things not just in a more efficient, in a more effective way, but you have to be really out there, up there, showing your work, showing your performance, right? And being noticed for it. Okay. So this is a very important statement that we put up on the screens. You don't just get paid for having an idea. You had an idea in your mind, excellent. You didn't get paid. You will not get paid for it. You will only get paid for it when that idea is converted into reality. And once it has become a reality, once it has been implemented, that is when people will see, has it added any value? Has it contributed anything to the organization, to the business, to the place where you work? Has it contributed anything? If it has, then that's when you can go and claim the benefit of, having that idea. Just having that idea in your mind or implementing an idea without having delivered any value, I mean, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's good, but it is not enough. So remember that whenever you have an idea, think about implementing it. Think about executing it. Once you have executed it, you need to highlight what value has this idea generated in monetary terms, in quality terms. I mean, you should be able to put a price tag to your idea as well, right? So once people realize that, yes, this idea has really, it has generated an impact, it has provided business benefit, that is, when you should then expect that you will grow beyond where you are currently. So that's a very important first step, this thinking in your mind, right? That you have to create, you have to calculate the value that you are making or contributing in your workplace for your employer. Okay, let's very quickly go through the contents after having set the scene, and let me at the same time have a look at some of the comments that are being made. I'm not going to read those comments about attendance, etc. anymore. Okay. All right. Hassan Riyaz is saying the slides are not provided, but there are 3 handouts that are available. And while we are talking, you should all try to download these handouts. There are 2 research reports that we discussed in the orientation. So they are both available there. I'll also name those documents for you. So this is B1164 Career Navigator. That's one. And the other one is PI Gen Z Groundbreakers. These are the 2 reports that we discussed in the orientation. The third one is the orientation slide deck, the slide deck that we used for the orientation. If you want this one as well, we will provide it to you in the next session. Okay, Alina Seher is asking how to actually manage implementing your ideas without compromising on your performance. Secondly, how can I know that my idea added value? Now, it's very simple. First of all, you have to be very clear in your mind of the bare minimums, the basics that you have to do. When you're implementing an idea, when you have a belief in your idea and you go around implementing it, you have to sort of be very clear in your mind first of how is it going to add value, how is it going to be effective. Okay. Then once you have had that clarity in your mind. Okay, it's just two people said can't hear me. Just give it a bit. If you can hear me now, please wait a second. Okay. Let me see if I can switch my connectivity. This didn't happen. Any better now? Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to leave it like this. Maybe interrupted from my end. If it happens again, I'll probably have to switch the network. Probably happening because of my internet connection. In fact, let me try to switch it. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Let me check it once again. All right, something went wrong. All right, can you hear me now? Great, thank you very much. Now connected to the other Wi-Fi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hamza Tahir, if you're not able to see my video, look at your connection. If others are able to see my video, that means there's something wrong on your end. Yes, the picture is still. I'm sorry, I am also sitting still. Okay. Video pic is not moving. So let it be. I mean, as long as you can hear me, I think this will fix itself in a bit. So it looks like there's been some internet bad patch. So it'll be fixed automatically. Let's see if it doesn't trouble us anymore. So all right. So we were talking about. All right. So many comments. We were talking about how do we know that we are adding value. Number one, you should never look at the end result straight away. You should have the complete path very clear in your mind of what steps do you need to take in order to implement an idea. Break down that process into smaller steps and make sure that you achieve those steps as you go along. So once you have reached the destination, which is implementation of an idea, right? That is when you really should try and evaluate the value addition. So, for example, if as a result of that idea of yours, you have been able to save time on let me just say, implement or on generating a report. So that automatically means less work hours or man hours spent on on that particular task, and therefore more time available to do other things. So number one, the man hours saved, that is value, and at the same time, the the work that you were able to do further as a result of saving that time, that also adds up. So it's very simple, performance management principles that you look at yourself, and you look at your routines prior to the implementation of the idea, and then you look at your ways of working after that implementation of the idea and see the difference. And the difference could be in terms of, like I said, quality improvement. It could be in terms of saving time. It could be in terms of more quantity produced, etc., or a higher level of service. So all these will carry a price tag, and therefore you should be able to project that value that you've developed or you produced, to your employers in order to in order to get the benefit of it as well. All right, Sarah Batul is saying, very good point of implementing idea, but not just having one. But some people are good with innovative ideas and lack how to process implementation. So that's exactly, Sarah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Just having an idea or just having a good idea is not enough. I've seen so many times in my life that people had an excellent idea, didn't have a clue of how to implement it. Somebody else picked up on that idea, had the energy, had the mindset of implementing it as well, and therefore got the benefit. So therefore, the best thing to do is in such a case would be, like I said to you, sit back, break down the process of implementing that idea into smaller steps. Start taking those smaller steps and think about a deadline in your mind by which you should be able to put this idea into practice. Okay, think about that deadline and then continuously inch up towards it, continuously move towards it. If you stall on the way, you should have, you should have confidants, you should have people to consult, and therefore they will advise you on what should be the next step or how to tackle difficult situation. But that's exactly how you continue with a good idea and make sure that it gets implemented. Okay, Asad Rafiq, thank you very much. You've already seen the change in yourself having given 3 exams of ACCA. Okay, the major change it's brought in me after 9 papers of F series is critical thinking. Excellent, excellent. That's very good. Let's move on a bit and see if there are any more comments. As you said, that it's important to make idea into reality, but how it's important for someone who's at the state of his career, like entry level. Intisham, why do you think it's not important, at the entry level? I think that is where the ball should set rolling. I mean, if you're getting into that habit of becoming innovative with your work, which is actually to look at new ways of working. If you're getting innovative with work, if you have great ideas early on in your career as well, and you're in the practice of implementing those ideas as well, you've already set the ball rolling for your career progression. You're already in that growth mindset. So rather than sitting back and just looking at your job description every day and telling work off that, oh, all right, this is not my work, this is not my job, I'm supposed to do this, why don't you take care of this work, it's not my responsibility. Rather than that attitude, which is not a growth attitude, which is a stagnant mind, rather than that, if you have that growth mindset up there, at the beginning of your career, that is where the ball should be set rolling. Okay. Samin Aminuddin says, I sometimes struggle with perfectionism while working on the idea and becomes hard to execute eventually. How to counter this situation? Samin, I exactly have the same situation. I exactly have the same problem. I am a perfectionist and I would want to see things in a perfect shape. Yeah. and I would not want to deliver anything short of being perfect. But like I said to you, if you are able to break down the entire process into smaller steps and have your perfectionist mind work on those smaller steps as well, eventually you will deliver the quality or the to the professional standards that you have set for yourself in your mind. You will be able to deliver work according to those standards. The most important thing here is, with the perfectionist mind, it normally becomes very difficult when you do not meet your own set standards. You think you're falling short of those standards, and therefore your work has not, you haven't done enough. So I think one lesson to learn from that is that you need to learn to fail fast. What does that mean? And it sounds very strange, fail fast. Fail fast because if you've learned from your mistakes in the process of failing, right, and you're ready to attempt it again, you're up for it. You have that door mind. But then if you fail, then you just once again go into your into a cocoon and stop trying hard, or stop learning from your failure. That is when you start to damage yourself. Okay, that is when the growth mindset is not working. Okay, all right, so I think we'll move on from here. We have taken about 45 minutes already. We'll look at the comments afterwards. So let's very quickly see, what is there for us in this program. So today we're going to talk about, the first 10 hours, we're going to talk about self-assessment, question formation, global trends, building focus, and goal setting. So today, there are three things that we have to achieve. Number one is going to be, how to introduce yourself, and we're going to come to that. And then second is how to stay focused. We have talked a bit of that here and a bit of that afterwards. And third will be, ACCA's Career Navigator. We're going to talk about core skills and expertise. And I'm going to ask you to evaluate yourself on those 15 core skills and expertise. So we're going to look at that. Then moving on from there, we're going to have a discussion on business case development. If you have a business idea, how to develop a business case around it, etc. So 10 hours of that. We're going to work on entrepreneurship canvas, look at the feasibility of ideas, etc. We're going to and how to present them, how to be high level, etc. So we'll do all that. Then refresh critical competencies, which are laws and regulations, right? So local taxation laws, local laws, corporate secretarial practices and laws. So we're going to talk about those, and in that we're going to split up into three groups once again. Sri Lanka is going to do theirs, Bangladesh is going to do theirs, and Pakistan is going to do theirs, and then we might come back and share experience with each other so that we know, we have a wider understanding of how is the taxation law working in Bangladesh, what is the tax to GDP ratio there, how many filers, etc., etc. So we look at all those things, and be glad that we have a diverse audience, so we will learn from each other also. After that, we're going to do some digital work on some digital technologies. Office Suite, it's very simple. I don't think that we'll spend too much time there. We'll just talk about high-level skills, certain high-level skills which are going to be helpful. At the same time, we're going to talk about Power BI, and we're also going to talk about ACCA professional insights, talking more about what what new technologies are coming about. Then from Career Navigator, we're going to talk about career zones and their opportunities. In between, we're going to invite industry leaders to come and talk to you as well. So we've set aside time for that. Then moving on, we have about 2 sessions on ethics and professional skills module, right? So some of you might have done it already. Some of you are going to do it in the future. So this is a very, very helpful tool, a very dynamic tool which is continuously evolving. So we'll work on that. Then we're going to do CV and job interviews, communication, negotiation, and decision making. We'll do all that. And at the same time, we're going to do role plays around it. Okay, so that's going to be some interesting work. And normally role plays or preparing presentations, etc. That happens on Saturdays during the unmoderated sessions. At the same time, I will bring in certain case studies, international case studies for you, and you will be, you'll be reading and understanding those case studies. You will be deducing important information from it. You will be making presentations, and there will be a counter group, a rebuttal group, which is going to also prepare, on those case studies and going to challenge you on this, on the inferences or on the suggestions or on the recommendations that you made to those case studies. So that's going to be some important and interesting work as well. The main objective is going to be, your presentation skills, your communication skills. So all that is going to come into question. And last but not the least, we're going to, the global case studies, like I said to you, about 10, we've set aside about 10 hours for that. So that gives you a brief overview about what are we going to go through. It's very rich content, but all of it will start making sense to you once you actively get involved. Let's move on. We are losing on time. So what do we need from your side? Number one, commitment to achieving the 6 digits income level. So you have to actively work towards it. If you're already there, I mean, you should set another target for yourself. It's not just about 100,000. It's between 100,000 to 999,000. Okay, so it's anywhere between that. If you're already above this target, you can set yourself another higher target for yourself. And again, in the next 12 to 36 months, I would say 12 to 36 months is a lot. It should actually be 6 to 12 months. Okay, 6 to 12 months, and you should see yourself there. But 6 to 12 months should be a near-term target. 12 months to 24 months could be a medium term, and 24 to 36 could be relatively long term, and then it goes on further from there. Plan and implement ideas, all the ideas that you have in your mind about or what we're going to discuss. You need to have a plan in mind on how to implement them. You have to commit to changing routines also, right? And your habits and your behaviors. Yes, I know we have our ways of life. We have there's time that we spend on digital mediums, on social media, on televisions, on socializing. But you have to set aside time for some certain other things in life as well. So those change of routines and change of habits and behaviors, they're going to be helpful as well. And last but not least, what we've been talking about all along, a growth mindset. You have to first of all come out of any stagnant or any negative mindset, and you have to start thinking about growth. Develop a passion for growth. Okay, and then you will be able to achieve the target that we have set for you, or you will set for yourself. Okay, so remember, there are 3 things. I mean, from this particular slide, I want you to focus on these 3 things: mindset, skill set, tool set. So if I ask most of you here, what is your main objective of joining the 6 digits program? Is it a skill set? Is it a tool set that is it some tools that you're going to focus on learning? Or is it the mindset that you want improved? Okay, so, or all 3. Okay, so think about that and put in your answers here. What do you think is the most important out of these 3? Excuse me. Get a glass of water for myself. All right, mindset, skill set, and mindset. Some are saying skill set and tool set. Okay. Shazeb Khan, mindset. Muzaffar Hussain saying, I want to improve my mindset and tool set. Okay. Mindset and skill set. Okay, a mixture. Okay, but I would say they are put in the right priority. Okay, I would say mindset is the most important. If you're able to fix your mindset, if you have developed that growth mindset, you will automatically, going forward, you look for skills, you'll get, you learn those skills, and then other than skills, which are mostly soft or technical, you learn different tools as well, right? But the core is sitting up there. I mean, all three of them are equally important. But in the absence of a mindset, you may just be learning certain tools, but you may not be implementing these to your benefit, right? You may not be implementing that tool set to get the maximum out of it for your own self also. Okay, so it is actually mindset first, and then alongside that, skill set and tool set. And in this program, if you have noticed, we are going to offer you a mix of all three. We are going to talk about mindset most of the time, but at the same time, sometimes we're going to talk about skill set, and sometimes we're going to talk about tools as well. You would have seen there are certain tools that we're going to, expose you people to. At the same time, we talk about skills and technical and soft skills both, but most of the time we'll be focusing on mindset. Great, thank you very much. Good interaction. Let's continue. Okay, I'm going to roll up the questions for a bit. I love the smell of possibility in the morning. Okay, again, talking about mindset. So when you wake up every day, look at the opportunities, look at the possibilities, right? Prepare yourselves to go out and grab those opportunities and make them possible. Okay. Now, I've explained the rest of it already to you. I mean, 6 hours a week over 18 weeks, Saturdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Platforms, go to webinar, Teams, and WhatsApp. Moving on. Okay, what is your feedback about what you've learned so far about, let's say, the 6 Digits program? And then we're going to go and do the thick of things. We're going to talk about how to introduce yourself. Do you know your right introduction? But before that, if there are any key suggestions, some very critical feedback you want to share with us, please type that in. And I'll very quickly look at some other comments people made. Ambition, yes, it's linked with Muhammad Usman, linked with mindset. If your mindset is tuned to growth, ambition automatically comes in. Nipa, Hezra, yes, all three of them are connected. Very well agree. Please hide questions, all right? Okay, here you go. Now you can see the slide. Badood Mazari, and am I typing in the right space for answers? Yes, yes, Badood, this is exactly where you have to type the questions. And we are randomly picking up questions, but as we go along, we will be more religious with picking up each and every comment, okay? But by the way, all the comments that you're making are being recorded, okay? Okay, Mohammed Mohsin Siddiqui is saying the multinational network. Yes, that's one big thing that your ACCA qualification or the ACCA, the discounting body offers you. That's the network, a global network. That's very important. Iman Rashid very well said. I mean, the biggest learning here was the mindset. Yeah. Exchange of ideas and diversity. I agree with you. Unless you exchange ideas, you discuss with people, right? It's all this is within you, and again, it will not materialize. It will not get you the maximum benefit. What should be the first job of an ACCA student while studying? Momina Ali has asked this question. Who would want to answer Momina Ali? Can we have some answers for Momina? Her question is, what should be the first job of an ACCA student while studying? Amar, yes, that has happened to quite a few people, but again, it depends upon you whether you want to leave it at that or you want to jump back, spring back, bounce back. Yeah, there are many things that you can do to yourself. I mean, it's just about broadening your horizon, thinking beyond limitations. And believe you me, it's not a very difficult job to get at the same level. In fact, higher than that, going forward. Okay, so answers from Momina are trainee, audit, bookkeeping, keep study as the priority. I would disagree there. Uzair, it should be both. It depends on your passion. Somebody's saying CA firm. It's better to focus on studies. And Rida, I suggest one should be working. You know, ACCA is a qualification that has been designed in a way that unless you apply the skills that you are learning, that's just academic knowledge, and that's what it is not. So do internships and externships or freelancing or think of startup ideas. Yes, Upwork, why not? Internship in a firm, yes. Challenges and can't wait for, sorry, Zahra is saying she loves challenges and can't wait for unmotivated sessions and challenging myself to get out of my comfort zone. That's very, very important. Get out of your comfort zone and interact on a professional level. Very important. Okay, go for internship, go for part-time job. When I was doing my master's, I can tell you one thing, I used to work in the mornings and study in the evenings. Okay, so full-time work and part-time studies. But then I was a full-time student at the university as well. So therefore, I really, really had an opportunity to apply all those learnings while I was, when I was studying. And believe you me, the last trimester, I had thought of making job applications, and I I don't remember. I mean, the first job application that I sent was for a bank, ANZ Grinley's bank at that time in Pakistan, and I was immediately picked up. And that's how my professional journey worked. But remember one thing, I was doing a degree program, right? My advantage was that I was working alongside, but I was doing a degree program. You're all, registered for a professional program. It's not a degree qualification, it's a professional program, which is a notch higher than degree programs. And therefore, the knowledge that you seeking, you getting is far more practical, therefore very close to reality. Okay, so just remember that. Technological risk and surviving in the industry of digital risk should be the content of the program. Okay, thank you, Osman. We look at that. Shuja has written something very important. Your first job should, it depends on where you want to see yourself in future. I think that's very important. You should have a very clear mind of where do you want to be, but at the same time, initially, very, very initial time, I mean, the focus should be on learning. Where would you get to learn the most? Okay, and then as you go along, you should shape your your professional career in a way that you end up in the organization where you've always dreamt to be. Okay. Thank you very much. I've read most of the comments. Jamal Hussain, thank you very much. Working in a large organization as internal audit head. You're a future member and already at that level. I think that will be an interesting story, and I think we ask you to share it sometime with us. Asad Rafiq is saying, I think earning 100K will not be a priority in this program. Learning how to add value to accountancy profession should be top priority. When will you be adding value to? When you'll be adding value to the accounting. Wait a second. Accounting profession, you go far beyond 6 years. Yes, you're right. But remember, we said milestones, smaller milestones. Okay. Um, Number two, how do you determine value? I mean, you always translate that into into numbers. If it is not your income, then it should be something else. But value is determined. It's a quantitative thing, right? Not just quality. It has to be, even if it is quality, it's to be translated into value, which is again a numeric figure. And that's why we're talking about a hypothetical figure of 6 digits, which means anywhere between 100,000. We didn't say 100,000. We said anywhere between 100,000 to 999,000. 999,999. That is a rupee short of ₹1,000,000 a month. So it's anywhere between that. So if you're already beyond 100,000, you should think about 250,000, or you should think about 500,000. Okay, that's what I meant. All right, I'm rolling up questions, and we are now going to go on with the discovery phase. We're going to see our strengths. Okay, this is going to be a bit interactive. And this is the question that you're going to ask yourself. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is introduce yourself in 30 seconds. All right, introduce yourself in less than 30 seconds. Take a pencil and a paper, write down what you're going to talk about. Okay, and once I've started receiving answers, I'm going to start commenting and start explaining to you what should you say about yourself in less than 30 seconds. I mean, this is also known as delivering an elevator pitch. Okay. What is that important piece of information that you must always have readily available, scripted, that you can share with others, and that can explain to others very well of what are you all about? Okay. And you should mention it in a way that others should remember it. Okay. So who are you? Introduce yourself in less than 30 seconds. Okay, let's see what we've been told. So Hasnan has already sent in his less than 30-second introduction. ACCA affiliate, introvert, I believe, objective oriented, adaptable, dependable. Okay, we'll talk about that a little later, of how this introduction was. I am Uzair Ahmad, recent IBA graduate and ACCA affiliate. Okay. I am Sarah, mother of two, ACCA finalist, and economics background. All right, try to convert this. I mean, always have value at the end of your mind. Okay, if you've done something that's added value to an organization, that has added value in your studies, include that in this introduction. I am Muzaffar Hussain, ACCA affiliate, 4 years of experience in different industry. Now explain, Muzaffar, explain the industry. Your 4 years of experience can come afterwards when you're sort of providing an evidence of having worked in such and such organization, but such and such industry. But what have you done during those 4 years? I mean, that should come first. And that should be, remember, value, quote unquote. That should define the value that you've delivered. Okay, let's go on. Amar Rahman, and while I'm explaining to you all this, you need to go back and rewrite your introduction, 30-second introduction. All right, all right, again, the same thing, affiliate, 11 years of experience in accounting and finance department. Okay, explain this value. Where is the value in this? Okay, 11 years experience can come afterwards. By value and your strengths, they come first. And strengths which are work related, it's not just about, I mean, very, very generic strengths such as hardworking, such as being analytical, objective oriented, or these are the things that are very, very common, right? You have to think about your specific technical area of expertise or your core skills in terms of the value that you've driven, or you've provided or you offer to your organization. Okay, so think in those terms. All right. I'm an ACCA affiliate with very competitive, adaptive mindset and quick learner, easy to work with, and team player. Value, value, value. I am ACCA member with 11 plus years of experience. So we've already done that. My name is Yabka Kundi, currently studying ACCA, working as a business data analyst and export manager in my family business. In my free time, I like to read books and paint. Okay, all right. Value delivery, my friends. I haven't seen one that hits the nail. An ACCA affiliate working in one of Big Four, actively studying towards CISA. I love to play badminton. Your extracurricular can come afterwards. I mean, we'll be leaving extracurriculars behind. This is your 30-second introduction. Okay, extracurriculars, etc. That comes afterwards. Mohsen Hassan Khan is saying affiliate, BSc honors, MPhil economics. This happened yesterday as well. People like to pile up qualifications. You don't need to. You don't have to. You don't have to show off your qualification. I'm talking about value. I'm talking about your expertise, area of expertise, right? And a small evidence, if at all, like you said, 4 years experience, that comes afterwards. But value delivery and your core expertise. All right, Muiz Azam is saying, always keen to unlearn, learn, and experience new challenges. How can I add value to an organization? All right, to your organization. You're putting back another question. Interesting way, but it's better that you provide that peep into how can you add value rather than asking the other person, can I add value? Okay. Affiliate currently working part of financial control and reporting team of PepsiCo Bangladesh. Good, but add the term value in it. Okay, so how have you added value through your finance control and reporting at PepsiCo? When ACCA professional working as manager internal audit in a restaurant chain of 5 years. Okay, I don't see, fine, you're a manager internal audit, but what value have you delivered as a manager internal audit in the last 5 years? That's important. Pooja is saying ACCA affiliate working in microfinance company as compliance officer, experience of 4 years, learned to be focused and adaptive. Again, your core area of expertise and values. These are the two terms I'm continuously repeating. Finance professional who's tech savvy, okay, self-starter, who's worked in a consulting sector to facilitate startups in their investor decks. Interesting. We're getting there. We want improvement in this. Samin, go back, improve this further, right? See if you can bring in more value driven. I mean, if you can be more focused on, what value have you driven? Okay. Training associate in ERP department at AF Ferguson. You don't have to exactly mention your job title. Do you have to? I don't think so. I mean, we're talking about your areas of expertise. That can be more generic, more high level. Okay. If you're in internal audit, right? You don't have to say I am such and such in internal audit. You have to define your role in a high level term, right? And focusing on the value delivered. Okay. Hijab Zedi ACCA qualified, working in a Big Four as an audit associate. That very cliched, I would say. Try to improve it. Nipa saying I am an ACCA affiliate with BBA in finance, qualification pile up, no needed. However, I'm dynamic and energetic professional. Okay, generic skills, please make these expertise rather than just generic skills. Dynamic and energetic are generic. ACCA affiliate with 4 nationwide and one worldwide distinction, and currently working with PwC as an assurance associate. Okay, assurance associate, try to convert that into your expertise, your core. Find you, I mean, it's a good start to, to declare or define, if you've got, you know, if you've earned medals for yourself, it could come afterwards. But first and foremost, I must say that you should look at your areas of expertise and how through those areas of expertise you've delivered value. Improving processes, excellent. Driving them towards automation, excellent. I'm getting terms now. Alina, thank you very much. Try to shuffle it. Bring Nestle afterwards, maybe. Right? Try to shuffle it. Okay, Nestle is the evidence, so bring it here. Certified in business studies and want to explore myself in the professional setup. ACCA, focus on your expertise. I mean, this is again very, very cliched. You want to explore, which means you're looking into the future. But I'm talking about your past and what have you done? What was your expertise and what have you delivered? 6 years of experience, the Jammu Hussain should have come afterwards. Established internal audit in true spirit at site. Okay, it's a little generic. You can be focus on your area of expertise, your core competence. We're going to talk about these core competencies afterwards as well, by the way. We're going to look at that. Asad Rafiq, introvert, born with characteristics of skepticism, 360-degree evaluation and critical thinking. Born qualities, I think these qualities are a perfect match to a chartered accountant. Okay, not quite there, but value delivered. You talked about your characteristics. Expertise, I don't see, is skepticism and expertise. Critical thinking is there, yes. Improve upon it, Asad, and let's see how when we go ahead, as we go on to see, what other people have written. Accounting and finance graduate. Accounting and finance graduate. By profession, I manage correspondent banking relationships at a commercial bank. Okay, Akash Kumar, again, the same things. Expertise, your expertise and the value. Nadia Rahim here, I'm an affiliate, 6 years of professional experience, could come afterwards. External audit, BPR, data and analysis reporting, explain myself as change bringer. Okay, and I keep on finding improvement in the work I do. Okay, this is slightly longish. It has to be shorter and focus on terminology. Nida, sorry, Nadia Rahim. Okay, Ikra Shahid, once again brought up in Emirates, currently working as a senior finance executive. You missed the point. Where is your core area of expertise? And what about your value that you deliver? ACCA, Oracle Functional Consultant, PwC Pakistan, Oracle ERP Consultant to help minimize your organizational risk. Kamran, okay, reword this. I mean, you're using a lot of borrowed jargon from Oracle Financial Consultant at PwC Pakistan. Can you reword? Can you say this in another way rather than using Oracle Functional Consultant? Use terminology such as business analyst. Okay, rather than defining a particular tool, a particular skill, rather than that, use terminology that is broader and at a higher level. The Nushika, ACCA affiliate, currently working in a software company in an accounting department for more than 4 years, working in a wider job role, help me plan, coordinate, manage work effectively. Okay. Anushka, can you please also focus on value delivered? You said a software company, 4 years. Fine if you want to bring 4 years afterwards, but then you've been able to plan, coordinate, and manage work. Can you assign some value to it. So I'm looking for that still. Momina, enthusiastic and professional, passionate learner, not enough. Nadia Rahim, I'm more towards the creative side. Monotonous becomes boring for me. Interesting, but creativity, find evidence and value. I mean, those are the two things missing. You're all continuously repeating, so please take a step back. Wipe off what have you written so far and come fresh. Okay. As a number guy, it's hard to translate my career into words. I take pride in doing little bit of everything. This is very, very generic, sexual. Affiliate, having critical analysis skills and quick learner. No, let me look for one which is Faizan Iqbal. This is interesting. ACCA affiliate working as a risk consultant helps organization to achieve objectives by recommending solutions in risk management. This is quite close to what we are saying. Quite close. This is very nice. Just add a little bit of proof point and value. Faizan, you're very close. Add a bit of value, from your previous experience or what have you delivered. But this is quite close. I like the terminology risk consultant. I like the terminology recommending solutions in risk management. In fact, you're repeating yourself here, but you could replace this other sentence with, what value you delivered. The comments, send them here in this group. Muzaffar, interesting, helps organization by converting numbers into stories. Be more descriptive. I mean, this is generic. Be a little bit more descriptive. Sarah is saying, can you give an example of value? So, we've just explained, for example, in case of Faizan, who has come closer so far, so Faizan could, from his experience, could define how has he, or how much of a risk has he been able to avert as a result of his risk consultancy in monetary terms, right? In an organization's terms. So if you can do that, that's an excellent finishing, which explains the scale or scope of your work. That's what I really mean. ACCA member, 3 years of taxation experience would be able to add value in the organization through my practical experience. Very generic. Rewrite it, please. Okay, finalists. Please look at what Faizan has written. Okay, that's a good anchor point, but then improve it further. Sumbul, enthusiastic learner. Please take this to the end. Entrepreneur and a change agent. That's interesting. Think about value. Shrivinda DiCosta, an ACCA affiliate with experience in management consulting. Expertise include business process reengineering and management insights through data analysis. Good one. Again, very close to Faizan's. Think about value as well, Shavindra. Good work. Excellent. Iman, affiliate, trainee, associate, ERP, adding value to HCM department. Abbreviations, if you can avoid a bit, but let's see. Anas is saying, Anasan, I'm exploring fundamental level of ACCA, remain department intern at TMUC, have added value to in terms of stakeholder relationship management. Other than I remain marketing intern at ACCA and added value to ACCA in terms of diversity inclusion by offering ACCA products to prospects. Anas Khan, thank you very much. I'm sure I would have known you from your work. Please reduce the number of words and make it a little more high level, I would say, right? You've tried to define value, but in non-monetary, non-numeral form, but try to bring a value there, right? I mean, this is very close once again, but try to improvise this further and rephrase it. Okay, proven track record of building a small business sector which helped me in learning, sorry, in helped me to earn bread and butter of family and also cover academic expenses. Then I would suggest not to talk about bread, butter, and family expenses. I would want you to stick to track record of building small businesses in FMCG sector. Focus on that and bring more expertise and value once again. अभी तक मुझे वैल्यू की कोई सही एग्जांपल I want to see how would want how people would want to define value that they've generated through their work. ACCA and then working in business has truly given me a good work ethic and being output oriented and has immensely improved my habits like time punctuality. I've learned with time to be all right. So time punctuality is important. So punctuality, if I would say, I mean, rather than a very long sentence, please bring the term out, use it some other way. Learned with time to be open to work with different people, teamwork, okay? Phrase it differently. One thing I've learned is to always listen to subordinates and perceive criticism in a constructive manner and further improve myself rather than getting upset with my shortcomings in work. Yabka, this needs to be rephrased. It's very long, but I'm not getting the gist out of it. I mean, imagine if you've said all this to someone who's listening to it, how much of that will that person remember? And, if let's say that person is a prospective employer or linked to a prospective employer, what would that person take away from this message? Okay, fine, punctuality, good work ethics, and a few more personal traits. When we're saying expertise, I'm going to give you examples of what expertise is like, but in about 3 minutes time, we'll switch over to areas of expertise and look at those. But you should then start thinking about using those terminologies. And by the way, when we're talking about core skills, capabilities, and expertise, remember from the orientation session that we're talking about ACCA Career Navigator, and Career Navigator being an excellent tool for you to develop certain areas of expertise, develop certain core competencies. What level are you at, and as per that level, are you a professional or are you an expert, and as per that level it recommends trainings and courses for you. So we look at that, but again we're still looking at some excellent terminology, and 2 or 3 people came very close. I would want most of you, when you go back today, think about those core skills, okay, and expertise. Try to use them in your 30-second introduction. Write it down multiple times, okay, multiple times, and then write it once, refine it, and then again refine it, and then hold it in front of the mirror and say it out loud to yourself. You have to stand in front of the mirror and introduce you to yourself and see if it makes good sense, if it's attractive, if it is worth remembering. So see all those qualities. Hijab, day-to-day dealing with the client, please make that high level. Are you into sales, into stakeholder relationships? Use those kind of terminologies. Day-to-day dealing with clients is very salesy like, but it doesn't give the message very clearly. Moiz Azam, I am tech savvy and introduced automation at accounting departments, resulting in increased efficiency, cost saving. This is close, but Moiz, the improvement that you can make is, efficiency and cost saving, more or less same thing. Efficiency is a better word. Try to use, high level vocabulary in this, right? So we're saying automation in accounting department, use another word for this whole term. Automation in accounting department is an old cliched term. Replace this with another one, okay? Resulted in efficiency, of the department and of the organization, talk more about that. A couple of more sentences there, and that should be enough. ICRA is the affiliate in charge of financial analysis and broader budget control of a chartered university. Okay, financial analysis and broader budget control. Okay, good enough. Need to add a bit further about your experience level. From financial analysis, if you can be more specific on what has your achievement been, I think that will be interesting as well, and an evidence of your achievement will be fantastic. Okay, Mohammed Mohsen, we have just suggested that we move away from your job titles. I mean, we're not talking about job titles. You move away from that and try and use expertise and core competencies, right? Core skills and expertise as terminology here. Okay, let's very quickly look at a few others before we move on. Tariq Azim, ACCA affiliate, having experience of 3 years, currently working as senior auditor. Again, we are using in security company the last 1.5 years and managing pre-audit and post-audit, and identify weakness in controls, risk identified due to non-compliance of company policy. Please rephrase this, and as well as ensure the completion of documentation before payment. Okay, so you're using long sentences. Please replace these with shorter, high-level terminologies, and also discuss the value offered by you to the organization. Okay, this one, let me see. A financial consultant is assisting early-stage founders to win up to $5 million seed rounds of venture capital. Much better, I would say, much better. Okay, can you? Yes, you've explained yourself as a financial consultant. Just add some expertise in here as well, assisting early-stage founders. If you can replace this with a word from core expertise or your core skills or expertise, I think that should make it exactly what we're looking for. Good work, Sameem. You're very close. All right, let's very quickly look at a few others. Okay. All right. Nadia, similarly, in a current company, added links to Excel reports to improve quality. Very operational, Nadia. Please make it high level. Mohammed Mohsen, we're not talking about your employment. We're talking about, let me reiterate, we have said this a number of times, your strengths. Remember the positive mindset. Talk about your strengths. You're introducing yourself. If you're currently unemployed, imagine yourself introducing, doing an introduction to a potential employer, and something that's not there on the CV, but you want to say it out loud. Okay, so like I said, talk about your core expertise, talk about your core skills, and number 3, talk about the value. And if number 4, you want to offer an evidence of what have you done in the past, right, please do so. Okay. All right, Mohammed Daniel, you have an interesting one here, but I would suggest take out these brand names from it. Okay, if you've said enough about data manipulation and visual presentation, that should be good. Provide some evidence and talk about value delivery. Okay, once again. Hassan Mahmood, we would not want to talk about your limitations and your obstacles. We're talking about strengths, particularly focus on those. Okay, Junaid Nasser, I could have made your introduction very, very interesting. I'm just saying that, tax consultancy, there's a lot to say about your work. Okay, so look at that. Sarah, excellent. Again, you asked that question of please give an example of a value. I think you are very close still, right? But when you're saying improve processes and organization through focus, multitasking, and hard work, um, I would say you continue this and provide an evidence of what have you done in the past and bring out a value that the organization has really achieved from it. All right, so I think this was a bit of an activity. This is something that you're going to take away today, okay? And you're going to spend some time in working. I mean, next time when we come in, we are going to begin with this introduction, and by that time, I would want to see a considerable improvement in the way you're writing it. Okay, uh, like I said, take a step back. We don't want to see designations. We want to see core areas of expertise. Okay, I'm going to share Mukhazar Ahmad Khan. I'm going to share a few very interesting introductions that a few members share yesterday. So I'm going to share those with you. But next time when you come in, I'm just going to do a very quick session with some of you and see what you've learned. So again, remember, I mean, when we're going on, we're going to look at what terminology from your core skills and your expertise to be used. Okay, so when you go back, this is something that you need to do in the next session when you come in. Okay, I'm going to roll up this and we're going to jump to some poll questions. We have 14 poll questions here. And these poll questions are basically the ratings that you're going to assign to yourself in these core areas of expertise. Okay. So we'll go one by one. You have to be very, very realistic because whatever you rate yourself at is going to define to us of what are the core areas of core competencies that we need to help you build further. So you have to be very, very truthful and realistic in answering. I mean, if you, let's suppose, want a lot of development in a certain area, please mark yourself low in that rating. There's no fear about that. I mean, we are going to hold you accountable for it, but it is going to be very helpful in determining our direction of this program. So what I'll do is I'll flash questions on your screen one by one, and I'm going to ask you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. And there is no shame in marking yourself very, very low on a particular core skill or on a particular area of expertise. The first one is collaboration. And the definition of collaboration is the way in which you interact with each other. Remember, we were using terminology such as teamwork, etc. So collaboration is a more modern word for it, right? You have to remember these terminologies. All these terminologies, by the way, came from the Career Navigator. So once you go through Career Navigator, you will understand why these terminologies are important and where can you use them in your introduction. So here goes the first one. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Please answer the question that you see on the screen in less than 30 seconds, and then we move on. And I'll share with you what others are thinking about. I mean, mark yourself at 5 if you're exceptionally good. If the next time you should be sitting here in my place and teaching all others, how collaboration can be done. Okay, and I'm going to start to do that. Please read the definition of collaboration as well, the way in which you interact with others. Okay, 30 seconds, I'm going to close. So far only about 60% have responded. I want all of you to respond. About 104 here. And please be very quick. I will not be able to give you a minute for it because otherwise it will take a lot of time. All right, 70% have voted so far, 72. So I'm closing and I'm sharing the results with you. All right. A majority of the people have ranked themselves at number 4, collaboration, number 4. Okay. I would say this is very, very high. I would say, majority should have fallen between 2 and 3, right? But let's see, when we go further, we'll actually, give you a very good understanding of what, what do you mean by the core skill collaboration, and what could be the end product like, how good looks like when you're talking about collaboration. Okay, we're going to do that. Next core skill is, okay, drive. And the way you define drive is your attitude and motivation. How is your attitude and motivation currently? All right, I've seen people beginning with 5 straight away. I think in the future sessions, we'll show you what good looks like when you're talking about drive. And if you go to, in fact, what I'll do is on this screen, I will take you to the, sorry, where it go? Take you to the page, the ACCA website. Give me a second, please. I'm managing it. All right. So career navigator, global.com. Okay. If I scroll down, we're talking about areas of expertise. So let's first of all explore here. All right, so far about 74% have voted. Once again, majority voted at number 3 and number 4, mostly 4. And this was about drive. Let me share the results with you. Okay. All right. While you're answering these questions, we look at these core capabilities also, or core skills, and we're going to define those as well, and we'll try to establish what good looks like. So we're moving on to the third one, and this one is ethics, which is about acting in accordance with professional, personal, ethical behavior. Okay. I can expect most of you on the higher side in this case. Hurry up, 30 seconds, and I'm going to close. 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close, share. Interesting. Majority have marked themselves on 4, but there are people who mark themselves on 1 and 2 as well. I think this needs, this is something that needs to be improved. So moving on. Core skill expertise. Expertise would mean the functional responsibilities of your role. Functional responsibilities of your role. Where would you mark yourself on expertise? And in the meanwhile, let's look at capabilities. Collaboration, digital, drive. Okay. I like this image. I like this image a lot. I mean, this really explains what drive means. All right, 10 more seconds and we are closing. Hurry up, hurry up. All right, here we go. So the outcome so far is, once again, majority have marked themselves on 4. There are very few brave ones who mark themselves on 1 or 2, right? So that needs to change. That needs to. I mean, you need to look at these core capabilities realistically. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, and that is rate yourself on the core skill digital, which is the proficient and ethical use of data technologies, capabilities, and strategies. So here it comes on your screen. Repeat this. The proficient and ethical use of data technologies, capabilities, and strategies. All right, about 5 seconds more. And here we go. Please hurry up. These are very simple questions that I'm asking. All right, so in this case, even, majority of marking themselves on 4, between 3 and 4, right? And quite a lot also mark themselves on the score 5. Okay, moving on to, and this was digital. Next is sustainability. And the definition of sustainability would be to create, protect, and communicate value for the organization, environment, and society. Value for the organization, environment, and society produced by the work that you in your organization are doing. Okay. 5 seconds, hurry up. And here we go. Sharing the results with you. Again, 3 and 4, some in 5, but very few in 1 and 2. Hide. And then the next one is, now we're talking about expertise level. Okay, so previously we're talking about core skills. Now we're talking about your level of expertise. So these are the areas of expertise that there are. The first one is advisory and consultancy. It is insight into both internal and external clients' organizational issues. Please pick up terminologies from what we are sharing here and try and use these terminologies if you can in your 30-second introduction. Advisory and consultancy. Okay, closing time, 3 seconds. Close. Sharing the results. So this one is a little sort of balanced. Majority of the people park themselves at 3. Some at number 4 and some at number 2 as well. A bit more balanced. So that was the first area of expertise. The next is audit and assurance. And let me put it up on the screens now. The definition is evaluating information systems and internal controls to meet the objectives of audit. Again, terminology. Look at the use of terminology here. So instead of saying I am the manager audit or manager internal audit, you can say my expertise is information systems and internal controls. Okay, just as an example. All right, sharing the results with you. Once again, I mean, I would not say balance, but there's a big number that have marked themselves on 1. There's a big number marked on number 5, and the rest are distributed between. Highest once again is for number 4, which is 32%. Okay. The next is financial business reporting. It should be up on your screens now. Financial business reporting is prepares and communicates high quality business reports for stakeholders and decision makers. Stakeholders and decision makers. Again, a very nice way of saying that you're a reporting analyst. Okay, 5 seconds. And here we go. Again, majority 4, smaller majority is at number 3 and number 2. Okay, most of the people are parking themselves in the middle. Some are parked at 5, some are parked at 1 as well. Financial management, which is about, I'm going to launch it, sorry, first. 30 seconds for it. Implements effective investment and financing decisions within the business environment. Financial management, your core area of, your expertise of financial management. Again, look at the choice of terminology. Five seconds. And here we go. Well, this one is a little towards the lower side, but still the majority is parked at number 3. I'm looking at number 1, which is about 17%, and number 2 about 24%. This sort of indicates to me that this financial management should be an area we should touch upon. All right, then the next one is performance management, and this one is defined as delivers financial information, tools, analysis, and insights across the organization. Financial information, tools, analysis, and insights. This is your core expertise of performance management. 5 seconds. And here we go. Results, once again, majority number 3 and 4, they're both equal, and a smaller number, a smaller majority at number 2, and about 12% number 1 at score 1. Okay. The next one is risk management. And I saw quite a few introductions around risk management. It says ensures governance, evaluation, and implements risk identification procedures. And that's precisely why I liked that introduction, yours, because you use that terminology of, risk identification, internal controls, and procedures. Governance and evaluation. Okay, 5 seconds. And here we go. Showing the results. Again, very, very balanced. In fact, a perfect curve. Majority sitting at number 3. All right. And last but not the least, taxation comes up on your screen now. And when we're talking about taxation, we're talking about compliance with tax regulations and systems. And I can anticipate results somewhat similar as in case of members. Right, about 5 seconds left. And here we go. All right, interesting. When we did this with members, it was somewhat exactly the same in case of members as well. So taxation and the core, we're talking about core areas of expertise. I mean, those are the ones where most of the people are focused on. So that was an interesting exercise on self-discovery. So let me conclude today's session. We've got only 4 minutes left. So what we've done today is we first of all explained how this entire program is going to take place. We've told you about, um, all right, so yes, we've told you about, uh, you know, that you need to have the right mindset. You need to, after you have the right mindset, and that's a growth mindset, you need to focus on skill set and tool set both, but with the right mindset in place, and that's the growth mindset. Like I said, that should come first. Once you are in that growth zone, automatically you will shift your focus to tool sets and skill sets as well. So then we talked about your introduction, your 30-second introduction. How do you introduce yourself? What should be the elevator pitch? Your focus has to be your areas of expertise or your core capabilities, and you also have to talk about value delivery, or how have you added value with the organizations that you worked in the past. It's not very important to mention brand names. It's not very important to talk loud about the number of years of experience, as long as you've already established about your core expertise. Once you've done that, then just complement this by an evidence or by a statement that provides evidence for that area of expertise or for that competency. And then last but not the least, we went on to explore Career Navigator. We looked at the different competencies, the core skills, and the areas of expertise. We asked you to rate yourself. These are all scores that have been recorded with us. We're going to look at these scores once we go back, and this is going to help us structure the program going forward. So if there are any questions or any comments, I'll be more than happy to answer right now. What was your feedback? I'm going to see that. I mean, can you people see my screen? So I'm just looking at screen sharing. Okay, I think that's there. So if you can see the screen, I want comments and feedback from you on how the session been. Did it disrupt any thoughts in your mind? Was it very, very different from what you were anticipating? Are there any other burning questions that you have in your mind? So thank you very much, Muzaffar. You're saying it's been an interactive session. Alina is saying that whether challenging status quo is a good thing or not, it's always a good thing. Challenging status quo is always a good thing, and you should always look at that. Nadia learned a lot today, and it was only an introduction. Yes, it was only an introduction, of course, but it's a very important thing how you convey your areas of expertise to people in very few words, keeping it high level. So that's very important skill. It's important to define an area of expertise. Jack of all is not accepted. Loving it so far. Thank you very much. Jack of all trades in certain areas is liked as well, but especially with COVID in place, a lot of things are changing. So specializations now moving on to people who can do multitasking. But if you can redefine multitasking as being jack of all trades, that's what the organizations are looking for at the moment. Samin, thank you for the interactive session. How will we be informed about unmoderated session? Muzaffar, I'll explain to you. I've given you the link already. It happens at 6 o'clock Pakistan time, 7 o'clock Bangladesh time on Saturday. So you have the link already. I'll explain it to you in the next session of what's going to happen. Is there any recording available for these sessions? If yes, where can I find those? Kamran, the recording of today's session is going to be sent to you 1 hour after the end of the session, and it is going to be sent to you through an email. So please look out for that. Today's session was good. It cleared the mind. Thank you very much, Nadeem. Excellent, different approach. Thank you very much, Aish. And quite excited since yesterday's, since attending today's session. Already anticipating a lot of growth professionally. Excellent. Thank you very much, Yopka. Mohammed Sachel, a very interactive session. Looks promising. Thank you so much for the initiative. Very, very curious about learning. Thank you, Anas. Screen is showing quick pool. Okay, let me very quickly remove it. Thank you very much for reminding me. Quick poll, hide it. Now it would have disappeared. Thank you, Anas. Sorry, Murtaza. Good learning, wonderfully conducted. Thank you very much, Alison. And that's almost all about it. Thank you very much. And remember what you have to do today. Okay. Love yourself, of course, when you wake up tomorrow morning. And then once you've done that, start thinking about your core areas of expertise. There's so many people who've rated themselves number 4, number 5 in different areas of expertise. Look at the content. Go and explore the ACCA Career Navigator. Look at the terminology used there. Use that terminology in your 30-second introduction. Try to figure out how can you best define the value that you produced through these areas of expertise in your employment in the past. Okay, so think in those terms. Come up with 2 at the most 3 sentences loaded with good terminology and very, very focused. Okay, come back and share those with us, and then we will take it on from there. Thank you very much. Thank you all for attending today's session. I think it's time to part. So see you next time now on Thursday, same time and same place. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day and looking forward to meeting all of you again. Bye-bye.